Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're someone new, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Roho and this is my channel Roho's Cube. Please do subscribe and also hit that notification bell so that you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. Before getting into the video, I do want to mention that I do have a holiday giveaway going on my channel, which includes these beautiful gifts right here. I will link that video right up here and also in the description box down below. Do check it out and do enter the giveaway. So in today's video, we are going to do an in-depth review of the newly launched Too Faced Chocolate Gold Palette. Now, if you're someone who is remotely interested in makeup, you must know about the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette. This is a really popular palette, and then Too Faced added a bunch of other palettes in the chocolate series. I do have the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbon palette. There is a semi-sweet palette as well. Recently, just before launching the Chocolate Gold palette, they also launched a white chocolate palette. I personally wasn't that attracted towards that palette, so I did not get that one. However, as soon as Chocolate Gold palette launched, I had to get my hands on this palette because looking at the palette, I was really drawn to it. Now let's get into the review. Let's first talk about the packaging. You know that Too Faced always kills it in their packaging. Their packaging is always superb and amazing, and this palette is no exception. As you can see, this is the outer packaging, the cardboard, and as you can see, this is like a chocolate bar, and as if the golds are dripping from this upper side. So that's how the outer packaging looks like. It's so pretty. This is how the package looks like. Again, the chocolate bar and gold dripping from one side of the palette. So this is a gorgeous packaging. I mean, this was the packaging of the chocolate bar palette, and then this was the packaging of chocolate bonbon palette. I must say that this time Too Faced stepped it up even more, and this packaging, oh my god, it's so beautiful and it feels so luxurious. It's an awesome packaging. Now once you open it up, this is the eyeshadow palette. This has a big mirror. If you look at the other palette, like the chocolate bar palette, as you can see, it has a much smaller mirror. However, this one has a much bigger mirror. This box is very similar to the other box. It's also, I think, made of tin or plastic, but this is a very sturdy box. And the thing is that this closure this time is much better. All these eyeshadows, they are infused with cocoa powder as well as real gold apparently. Just like the other chocolate bar palettes, this one also have 16 eyeshadows, and this palette in particular has 12 shimmers among those 16 eyeshadows. So there are only these 4 mattes. Other than that, all the other eyeshadows here are all shimmers. This eyeshadow palette retails for $49 US, and it's available at Sephora, Ulta, and also at Too Faced website. Now let's get into the swatches of these beautiful eyeshadows. So these are the 12 shimmers of the palette, and these are finger swatches, and as you can see, all of them swatched beautifully. I love both of these green colors right here, this gold one, I mean this icy blue one. All of them are very pretty, and all of them swatched beautifully with finger, except for this pink one right here. I believe this is called New Money. This one was a little sheer compared to the others, but rest of them swatched beautifully, and they also apply beautifully on the eyes. Now those were the single time finger swatches of all the eyeshadows. I also did a makeup tutorial on this eye look at the end of this video, and you can also see there how this eyeshadows apply on the eyelid itself. So do check that one out. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of this palette or the actual eyeshadows. Now I have been using this palette for almost a week now, so I have used almost most of the shimmers here, and of course I have used all the mattes. Now about the shimmers, because of course shimmers are the main focus of this palette. So except for this pink New Money, except for that one, every other shimmer are very pigmented, as you also saw in the swatches. You can also see in the tutorial. All of this they can apply beautifully, very pigmented, with even a dry brush. Of course this eyeshadows also they apply even more intensified if you apply them with your finger or a wet brush, but even with dry brush they apply very beautifully and very pigmented. So I really like all the shimmers, again except for this one right here, the pink one. It is a little sheer, I would say. It doesn't apply as pigmented as the rest of the shimmers, but that's the only one. Other than that, all of them are extremely beautiful. They are extremely pigmented and they're just amazing. I really like all the shimmers, especially the greens here. They're so pretty and so pigmented, very beautiful. Definitely that's the biggest pro of this palette. Now there are 4 mattes in this palette, so I really appreciate that fact. I have some palettes in my collection where there are only shimmers or only glitters, so I do have to use some other palette. However, with this one, since they have these 4 mattes right here, you can always create a whole look using just this palette. So this color right here, Rolling in Dough, it's a very pale color, so I generally use this color to put all over my lid before I apply the actual eyeshadows. This one right here, So Boji, unfortunately this is almost like my skin color, so you can also see that in the swatches that it doesn't really show up on my skin tone. I have a medium to tan skin tone. However, this one right here, the Cocoa Truffle, that one is a perfect transition color for me. So if I almost all the time use matte transition colors, so this one is definitely a good transition color for my skin tone. However, if someone is deeper than my skin tone, I don't really see that this will show up on them. So in that case, for someone who has a deeper skin tone than me, I doubt that any of these colors will work as a transition color. So this black right here, this one has like very tiny and very few sparkle in them. Of course they don't show up on your eyes. I don't know why they are in there, but there are few golden sparkle in this matte black. But this is a good black. You can always use this to deepen up your outer corner and add more depth to your eye look. I have done many looks with this palette already, and I did use this black. It was very easy to blend and it was a nice black. So these are a set of beautiful shimmers which you can use a lot during the holiday season, and also you can always use them for an evening out. Another thing I feel like that if you're someone who is new to makeup, then you can always have this kind of a shimmer palette and you can just use one single color on all over your lid. Maybe not a very bold color, but a little subdued color like this Love and Cocoa right here, or Famous or Old Money colors like this. You can, or maybe Classy and Sassy as well. You can put them all over your lid and you can have a nice eye look. with matte eyeshadows, you always needs to be creative, you needs to blend them well, but with just one shimmer you can always create a very simple yet glamorous eye look. Now the cons of this palette, I would say that just like all these beautiful shimmers, beautiful and colorful shimmers can be a pro for someone, this can be a con for you. If you are someone who doesn't really like shimmery eyeshadows, or even if you like shimmer eyeshadows, you do not really like bold colors on your eyes or bold colored shimmers on your eyes, because as you can see, there are not only a lot of shimmers in this palette, there are also quite a few very bold colored shimmers. This golden right here, this greens, this purple, pink, all this color are quite bold colors. There are some neutral colors as well, like this one right here, maybe this one as well. This one right here is also kind of neutral, but other than that, a lot of the other colors are quite bold colors. So if you are not someone who likes bold colored shimmers or shimmers at all, then definitely this is not a palette for you. The other con I would like to say definitely that since most of the eyeshadows are shimmers, it's quite hard to create a eye look that is quite nice, or a lot of people will be comfortable as daytime eye look. I did create a daytime eye look with just this 4 eyeshadows, but of course that's not enough. It was a very basic eye look. If I was traveling with just one palette, I wouldn't take this one. So to sum it up, obviously this is a very specific palette with a lot of shimmers and also colorful shimmers. So if you are looking for colorful and beautiful shimmers, this is definitely a palette for you, because as I mentioned, the eyeshadow themselves were really good. They were very pigmented and there were a little bit of fallout, but since they were so pigmented, I really didn't mind that. I just suggest that you do your eye look before putting on foundation, so you'll be just fine with that. Even I did my eye makeup after putting on my foundation and there was quite a bit of fallout under my eyes, but I could just dust them off and that was it. So it didn't really bother me at all. So yes, if you're in search of beautiful and really pigmented shimmers, then this palette is definitely for you. However, on the other hand, if you are someone who only likes neutrals, doesn't like bold colors or bold shimmers, or do not wear too many shimmers, then obviously this palette is not for you. So yes, that was the review of Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. I hope you liked this video, and let me know in the comment section right below whether you will get this palette, or you have already gotten this palette, whether you are liking it or not. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! So I have already prepped my eye. So first I will take this eyeshadow right here and I'll put all over my eyelid. Next, I will use this color right here called Cocoa Truffle as my initial transition color on my crease. Now on Too Faced website, their makeup artist Alice, she did one eye look where she used this a shimmer called Classy and Sassy, this one right here, as a transition color. So I was quite fascinated by that, so I want to try that one out. So next I will use this color as my transition color. This is so interesting. I have never used a shimmer as my transition color, and I did try it before like with this palette after I saw that video, and it does work out well. This is a very pretty color. Next, I want to take this green right here called Hulak Faratola, and I'll put on my outer corner. This is such a pretty color, beautiful. And also inner corner. This color is very pigmented and very beautiful. There is a little bit of fallout though. Next, I'll take this color right here called Money Bags and just put it a little bit on the edge. This color is also very pigmented. Next, I'm going to take this color called Love and Cocoa and put it right in the middle. Now for the lower lash line, I'm going to take the color Money Bag one more time. Put it on my lower lash line. Then I will go in with this black color called Decadent and basically line my lower lash line and then smudge it. Next, I'll take the color Old Money right here and I'll highlight my inner corner with it. Next, I'm gonna take the color Rich Girl and I will highlight my brow bone with it.